Hey everybody, welcome to Saving Greens Homestead. My name is Keisha, and if this is your first time watching one of my videos, I welcome you. Today I am going to take you guys on a tour of my backyard garden. I'm gonna have to do my front yard garden in a separate video, just so you guys can see what everybody else saw during the fall progressive garden tour that I did over the weekend. And while I am showing you the clip of my garden, then I am going to be in the process of harvesting a whole bunch of stuff that you are going to see in that clip. So I am going to show you at the very end what I ended up harvesting out of this garden and how much I harvested. And then if you stick around just a little bit longer, I have a bonus clip of one of the gardens that I didn't get to include in the previous video for the fall progressive garden tour. And so I'm gonna put that clip on the very end so you guys can see that. So stick around, and without further ado, here's the video clip of my backyard garden tour. So this is what everybody saw when they first walked into my backyard in my garden here. As you can see, we cleared a lot of stuff out of the way. I had to, because I didn't want anybody tripping or falling or anything like that. And the first stop on our tour is this: tomatoes. There's a lot of them that are ready. There's some that are overripe that I didn't get a chance to get back here and get beforehand, or I just didn't want to, because I wanted to have stuff on the vines where people can see how things look when it's ripe. The whole point and purpose of the tour is to teach people what things, how to do for themselves, and this way they got a chance to see how things looked. I never did get around to putting the bamboo sticks in here to trellis these guys. So this year all my tomatoes just grew wild. Moving on down here, we have my eggplants are doing great. Look at that. I'm about to take all of these things out of these beds here and clear these beds, but while things are still producing, I'm gonna go ahead and let them stay so that they can do what they do, which is produce. We still have a couple of weeks before, or about 3 weeks before we get any real frost. The coldest temp that I see coming up is at night. Oh, look who came home. Tiger. Is 38. And that's kind of pushing it. But I think that everything is going to be okay, because it's just that one night. And it's not going to be freezing, at least. So I think everything should be fine. I wanted to see if I can find this one that was on here. You guys, I still have problems with grasshoppers, and they're eating up these eggplant leaves. They are tearing them up. As you can see the little bites out of them. That's from grasshoppers. And they're here where they were. I might have scared them off when I came through here messing with stuff, but I wanted to show you guys. I was looking for that peach. That one little peach that I left on here is gone now. I think it either fell down or the birds got to it, but look at that big old green tomato hanging right there. I didn't know he was back there. I'm still discovering stuff in this garden. So I'm gonna stay along the side fence here and continue to show you guys over here. These are those tomatillos that volunteered that I discovered recently. When I started cleaning up for this tour is when I discovered these guys. And then I want to show you guys all of these pomegranates on this tree. Look under there. It's pomegranates galore. Those are touching the ground because they're so big and heavy back there in the back. But look at this. It's just pomegranate galore. And during my garden tour, I had several people ask me for pomegranates. And I did allow a few people to, you know, take some pomegranates. But I do have some plans for these guys. And so I didn't want too many to be given up yet. Not until after I collect what I need. Then I'll go around and I'll offer some to my family and friends and the community. So, but I want to first make sure I have enough for what I'm trying to do. And then look at these dahlias. A lot of them bloomed and were open for this. And I was really happy because they're so beautiful. They're just so pretty. And then I got all these purple tomatoes over here. I've got two different kinds. There's these pointy kind. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's the pointy kind, and they're just all over here growing. And then I have these round purple ones over here. Some are big, some are small. But there's a lot of them. And then look at another dahlia. And then this berries crazy cherry is really going crazy. There are a lot of tomatoes on here right now. So I'm happy for that. And cherry tomatoes typically will last and can withstand some cold. So these are the last ones to stop, to die off because of cold. So I'm excited for that they're loaded with so much fruit. And then I need to collect some more of these tomato leaves so that I can do another batch, another round of them. I have so many peppers. I would walk in here, but I'm in my flip-flops and I do not want to get stuff on me like spiders. Well, look at that. All these peppers. There's tomatoes down in here. There's tomatoes all back in there. There's just tomatoes everywhere. There's peppers that are ready back over there. It's just stuff everywhere. Food everywhere. So, more purple tomatoes. I have all the varieties written down. I just don't have it out here written. I don't know if you guys can see. There's like a cloud of little like gnats that just flew away because one of the tomatoes that was ready, I was trying to leave him on there so that people could see him on there, and well, he is down under here. But he just got a little too ripe and he fell and burst. So now all the little buggers is on him. Look at these rattlesnake beans. Birdhouse gourds. Those Hartman's yellow gooseberry tomatoes. I want you guys to see this. Look at what popped open. That cotton. Look. I actually grew cotton. And it wasn't, these plants didn't get big as they could have been. Look at that, he's opening. They didn't get as big as they could have been, but they produced in this green stalk. So I'm happy about that. At least I know I can grow some cotton if I want to, even just that little bit in here. I'm about to start clearing all this stuff out, so I was waiting for that to pop open, because I'm about to clear this out and start some new stuff in here. I was hopeful for some cucamelons so I could try them for the first time. And I noticed I have some flowers, and I do have a flower that has a fruit on it. Oh, here it is. I was trying to find it. Here it is. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to wait for that to develop or not. Because, like I said, I'm excited to get some more different stuff growing in here. I hear a whole bunch of commotion going on with my chickens right now. So I'm trying to keep a watch on them because they always trying to get out and escape. Look at that Jardel squash. It's big too. You won't see how big it is until I harvest them. All of these Brad's Atomic tomatoes. And these tomatoes are coming over the top. These are more of those gooseberries that are coming down over the top here. There might be some tomatoes from the tomato plant that I planted in the middle here, but I doubt it. I think those might all be gooseberries. Look at all of this is cleared. And I look back over here. All of that is cleared. So people had plenty of room to walk around and explore. It's that supermoon pumpkin. You can see the powdery mildew on all this. All this is just ready to be taken out. And I'm going to, now that the tour is over, I just left this stuff in mostly so people would be able to see it. Look at these pumpkins. So that people would get a chance to see it. But a lot of this stuff is ready to just get pulled. This is the mimosa. This was actually a hit too, this mimosa tree. Everybody liked it. People were taking seeds. Look at this side from this view. All those tomatoes up in there. Just looks so pretty. Looks so pretty. And then these beans that are dried and ready. There's some that pods that popped open. You can see that one on the ground. And then there's one up there. So I gotta get in here and get this guy harvested so that I don't lose my beans. And then there's peppers. These purple peppers are so pretty. There's another big one down there. I didn't see that one. I didn't see that one underneath. And then this is full of peppers. And some more tomatoes. I did a lot of purple varieties, blues and purples, because of the health benefits of consuming black and purple and blue tomatoes. What makes those colors in the tomatoes is the anthocyanins. And so I really planted a whole lot of tomatoes like that. Besides, I think they're just really pretty. I think they're just really, really pretty when they ripen. But look at this tomato plant. It's big. And I didn't trellis him. He's just growing up on that trellis by himself. I didn't tie him up or nothing. Most of them is down here at the bottom though, and going off to the side there. Now my pepper plants don't look all that great. They look beaten and ready to be taken out already. So I won't be saving too many of the leaves off of those, but you can also save the leaves and dry them on pepper plants. They're edible. Dry them and use them for tea or as a seasoning in your whatever you're cooking. Oh, it was funny because I stood here and I was telling people about how tomato plants are edible. If you didn't know this, then let me be the first to tell you this, that tomato plants are edible. And so I stood here and I picked the leaf off of one of my tomato plants. Now this one is prairie fire, and it has a lot of fruit ready on it that I need to get. But anyways, I stood here and I told them that the smaller leaves, like this leaf right here, smaller, is more tastier to me. I think the bigger the leaves are, as far as fresh eating, they might tend to be a little bit more bitter. Just depends on how old the plant is and how old that leaf is. But just something like this, and I ate it. And you should have seen everybody's eyes was on me at that point, because a lot of people know what they say about tomato plants, since they're part of the nightshade family, that they're highly toxic. And they might contain a toxin, but you have to eat so many of the leaves at one time in order for it to have an effect on you. And so, yeah. And so when I ate that leaf, I was like, man, I should have started acting like I was choking. Just, you know. I probably would have caused some people to have a heart attack. I think that's why I didn't do that. But, you know, it's true. You can eat these leaves raw. You can dry them out like how I do for tea or for seasoning. And it's just, they're delicious. They taste like how they smell. They smell like summer to me. But they taste, if you've ever smelled a tomato plant, and if you love that smell, then you're definitely going to like the flavor of the leaf, because that's how it tastes. At first, when you first bite into it, you taste that. And look how this is all cleared out. When you first bite into it, that's what you taste. And then after you start chewing on it, it tastes like spinach. It tastes just like spinach to me. The flavor is delightful. It's not off-putting. It's just good. Now you can use those in sauces. You can use tomato leaves in sauces and stuff. when you cook to help flavor your sauces or your soups and stuff like that. But it's good. It tastes really good. Now I have a lot of lemons on here. Not a whole lot of leaves, but I have a lot of lemons that are on here. I counted about seven or eight. That's more than what I've ever had. So I'm happy for it. This orange has just one orange on it. You see him? He's down over here. See him back there? That one orange. And I'm watching it too. I'm watching him. I got really excited when I saw this. I saw a green fig on this fig tree, and then I couldn't find it anymore because it was green like the plant. And then I saw that when it ripened, I was like, oh, there you are. And it looks good on this side. But let me show you the other side. Something got him. Something got him before I could. So I'm not happy about that. But back over here, I wanted to show you guys those tomatoes that I discovered when I started clearing up everything here. That one already started to ripen. And these, I can tell by the color, these are Thorburns terracotta, which are one of my favorites. So I'm happy for that. I'm gonna take him off of there and enjoy eating him fresh. He is not gonna be froze or dehydrated or any of that. He is going directly into my belly. So let's see. Yeah, the tour turned out really good, and everybody, we needed more time. Actually, it was hard for me to get people to leave from out of here because there's just so much to see, and 20 minutes is not enough time to see everything. I mean, this video is probably going to be longer than 20 minutes. I mean, this is just the backyard. Let me show you guys these raspberries. We got some more raspberries on there. That was a surprise. And then over here, so this bed didn't really take off too much. If you remember, these tomatoes were attacked by the hornworms, and they just never fully recovered. And then when I left on vacation, they kind of got neglected, and so yeah, they just kind of slowly deteriorated. But the peppers did put on a few little peppers here, and so they're trying to give me some fruit. But the tomatoes didn't do so hot. So these are going to get pulled, and I am going to fill this bed up with more soil and get some more stuff planted in it. So while I'm over here, I want to show you guys my elm tree is changing colors for the fall, and it's just so pretty. I love when this time of year when it changes its colors. So now I'm gonna come back through on this side for this bed to show you guys this area here. I have tomatoes on this tomato plant. You can see there's one there. There's some all over here. I'm happy about that because that means I might get a chance to actually try these tomatoes. But these vines are suffering. They need to get pulled. I have a cuckoozy growing on top there. I don't know if you'll be able to see him. He's up there. And these roselles, this hibiscus is doing good. It's not doing as good as the front one. You can see there's a noodle bean hanging off in the back there. And then I have these sun sugar tomatoes, cherry tomatoes that are doing great. And then I wanted to show you, I have a few tomatoes on this plant, but there's this one hanging right here. There's another one on this side hanging. There he is. He's back in there. I don't know if you guys can see him, but he's there. But I wanted to show you this, this season I've had a horrible time with ants. There's ants everywhere in my backyard, in my garden, but they've been wreaking havoc on everything. And as you can see on some of these leaves, let me see if I can get the sun out of the way here and show you. On the backs of these leaves and on the fronts too, you can see there's aphids all over these, and they're stuck there because the ants are farming them and placing them on there. And not just on this plant, but on many of my other plants that I have growing out here, on my tomato plants. I mean, just any plant they are able to infiltrate, they did. On my pomegranates, I mean, it's just an ant infestation back here. So over the winter, I'm gonna be working on getting rid of those ants, finding ways to solve that problem with the ants. Look at these tomatoes. Everything is growing all wild and just filling out in this area here with my tortoises. My tortoises are already tucked away in their dens. For some reason this year they went in early. I haven't seen them for a little while now, and so I won't be seeing them again until spring of next year. Now, tortoises don't fully hibernate. They, I think it's called brumate, or bromate, something like that. And what that means is they go into sleep, but they don't sleep the whole time. They'll come out and move around and do stuff in search of water or food, but mine usually just stays in their den the whole time. And I don't see them again for a good, let's see, this is October, so 6 months. And then they'll come out and I'll see them and I'm like, oh, you guys survived. Every year it's a question, did they survive? Am I gonna see them again? And usually they do. So but they're all tucked away already for the season. So lastly, I just want to show you guys this one last thing, and that is my husband and I managed to get the chicken fence back up. And so, and the netting, I just have to attach the netting to the top of the fence so that I can keep the chickens from escaping out, because they will climb up, flap their wings, and put their little feet in these chicken wire holes and climb up the fence to get out. So, and then I went and I leveled as best I could this space right here in front so that I can go ahead and put my garden beds that are stacked under my pomegranate tree back over here with all the trellises that I built and everything, and get this all put back in. So I'll be doing a video on that soon, just talking about the reasons why I had to do that. But I was happy to get a chance to cut back some more of these oleander. Okay, you guys, so this is what I'm left with. Not a bad haul. So be expecting some tomato reviews, because I harvested a number of these tomatoes that are new to me this season. So be looking out for it. Everything looks good. And I didn't get the pumpkins. Although they're ready, I didn't take them off the vines yet because I'm not ready. So I will take those off at a later date. So you guys, that's gonna do it for this video, and I hope that you waited out this long and watched to the very end. I'm so thankful for those of you who do watch my videos fully, and I appreciate you. And I will see you guys in the next video. So as always, God bless. And this is an almond tree. And this is an apricot tree. Those are blanket flowers and lambs here. These are cone flowers. Lots of seeds left to grow new ones. That's a topiary bear that I've made out of a rosemary bush. Those are pincushion flowers. These are a cherry bush that in the springtime are red. This is a sage. This is a lilac that's going dormant. This is what's left of these Shasta daisies. A salvia. Some mums are about done blooming. And a butterfly bush. And then back on this side of the house, we took our hill and put in a retaining wall and brought it up so we could have trees up here. This is a white nectarine. And a couple of cherry trees. They also provide us with privacy from our neighbors. This is a plum. And this is a pear. And then this is some wisteria that will grow along the fence and smells lovely in the springtime. And go down the RV pad to the hillside where we terraced the hill and made up 2 more terraced areas down here. The hillside is covered with trailing rosemary, and that's a dry pond. This is the end of the blooming of the Mexican bird of paradise. Part of the hillsides are covered with this very mature juniper, and then the rest of the hillside as you're going down has about 3-year-old trailing rosemary bushes. Down here we have a flowering plum. Next to the fence, all the way around the bottom here, are some young oleander bushes. Those purple on the far side of the pond are Russian sage, and in between the Russian sage is Scotch broom. This is artificial turf because I don't like growing grass. That's a smoke tree. These are 2 magnolia trees, which we're hoping to create shade down here as a nice sitting area while you're enjoying the view. We have a couple of Japanese maples here. The bird bath, my husband hooked up to a sprinkler, so every time the sprinklers come on, the bird bath fills with fresh water. Those are geraniums at the bottom, and donkey tail ice plant. These are ganzias and boxwood and a mimosa tree, which we're also hoping will eventually make shade for a little sitting area here. And as we keep going around to the other terrace, this is the orchard. And in this orchard we have
19 different fruit trees. And it has made little signs for all of them. There's a little pathway in between here. They're all about maybe 5 to 6 feet apart, which will be fine because they're never going to be really big trees. We don't want to make huge trees because they will block the view. And then over here is the next to-do project, which is going to be a staircase coming down from the top yard down to here onto a deck. Next year, we're hoping that this area where we planted these oleanders and still have other dirt, we're going to probably plant some vegetables, maybe some watermelon and vining things that can grow. And probably here and there within this area of dirt, we'll put some other plants too. Right now, the Gansea is just growing at the bottom of the fruit trees where the water is good. Good. So there's part of the hill. There's the slope of what the hill was like over there before we put the terracing in. And above these chairs in this area where this patio is, we're going to be building a pergola that'll go all the way along here so there's shade during the daytime.